This week's word problem has to do with Mary and some flowers. So let's read it through together, and then I'll help you with some little tricks that you can use to help figure out this word problem, okay? So we're gonna read it together. In the spring of 2013, Mary created a flower bed and planted 3 hyacinths. Each spring from 2013 to 2016, the number of hyacinths that bloomed in her flower bed was 3, 6, 10, and 15, respectively. Analyze the pattern to determine the total number of hyacinths that will have bloomed in her flower bed from the spring of 2013 through the spring of 2020, okay? So we have to think about, what is this word problem asking us to solve? It's asking us how many flowers are going to bloom in a time period, okay? So I'm not looking for how many flowers bloomed just in 2020. I want to know how many flowers bloomed so the total number of flowers that bloomed from the spring of 2013 to the spring of 2020. That's what I'm looking to find, okay? So I'm going to show you a shortcut or a trick as to how to start finding information in a word problem. This little trick is called the cubes method, okay? The cubes method is an acronym, where each letter in the word cubes stands for something that you can do to your word problem to help you pick out the bits and pieces of information and how to go about solving the problem, okay? So the first thing we're gonna do is C, circle the numbers. Now, sometimes the numbers in your word problem are going to be extra. They're not going to be needed. So as you're looking at your word problem, you're going to read through it and cross off the numbers you don't need and circle the ones that are important. So I'm going to pick up my pen. Hopefully it's red. And we're going to start from the beginning. In the spring of 2013, I don't need that 2013. That's not important. That's not a number that I need right now. Mary created a flower bed and planted 3 hyacinths. This number 3 is written out, but I don't need it, okay? Each spring from 2013 to 2016, the number of hyacinths that bloomed in her flower bed was 3, 6, 10, and 15 respectively. These are the numbers I need. I need to know these numbers, the years, and I need to know the flowers that bloomed during those years. Analyze the pattern to determine the total number of hyacinths that will have bloomed in our flower bed from the spring of 2013 through the spring of 2020. So those are the numbers that I need again, okay? So notice I've read this word problem twice. When you're doing these POWs, you're going to have to read the word problem a number of times, okay? Go back to cubes. The next part of cubes is the letter U. Underline the question. I already did that, okay? I already went through and I underlined the question. The total number of hyacinths that will have bloomed in the flower bed from the spring of 2013 to the spring of 2020. So we have to think, okay? From spring of 2013 to spring of 2020. That time period is 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. So when we're looking at the flowers, we have to include 2013 and 2020 in our years, all right? Back to cubes. The next letter is B. B for box the keywords. Your keywords are going to help you figure out what operation you need to use to figure out your word problem or to set up your equations, okay? So we're going to look for the keywords in our word problem. Let's change the color so we can see things a little bit better. Let's use green. So keywords. I'm gonna read the first sentence. In the spring of 2013, Mary created flower bed and planted 3 hyacinths. Don't need anything from in there. Each spring. Each. That tells me something that happens repeatedly. So something I'm going to have to add, okay? Or add together. From 2013 to 2016, from and to, that's giving me a range, okay? So it's giving me a range of numbers. Sometimes your keywords aren't operation words, but they tell you distance, okay? So from and to is it tells me the distance between 2013 and 2020. The number of hyacinths that bloomed in our flower bed was, okay, so that tells me there's no keywords in there. Analyze the pattern, keywords. Analyze the pattern. Analyze the pattern is a fancy way of saying look for the pattern, or look at the pattern that was created, okay? So analyze, look for. Analyze, examine. They all mean the same thing, okay? So we're gonna look for the pattern that happened from 2013 to 2016. Keep going looking for keywords to determine the total number of hyacinths that will have bloomed in the flower bed from 2013 through the spring of 2020. So total means add up all the numbers, add up all the flowers. Through is telling us from 2013, the range from 2013 to 2020. Okay, so those are all my keywords. The next part of cubes is evaluate. Evaluate in this sense is saying, what do you have to do to solve this problem? What steps do you have to take? Well, I already know that I need to add things together because the word total. I also need to know that I have to analyze a pattern. So I have to figure out what the pattern is. So one way to look at a pattern is to set up a table. Okay, so your table, you're going to have year, you're going to have flower, okay, and then you can have, well, there's a pattern, so you can say rule, because when we're looking at patterns, we're looking for the rule that's going to happen, okay, or the rule that is going from one year to the next. So you're going to fill out this chart with the years. 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, all the way down to 2020. And you're going to fill it in. 3 flowers, 6 flowers, 10 flowers, 15 flowers. So now you're going to look and you're going to think about what is going on from 3 to 6. Well, is that the same thing that happens from 6 to 10? So you have to think about what your rule is, and that rule is going to be your pattern. The last part of cubes is solve. So once you figure out your pattern, you can use your pattern to solve the question of the word problem. So solving means look at the question in the word problem and figure out what the answer is. So you have all the steps right now, and you have a little bit of a start on how to solve your first problem of the week. I want you to work on this a little bit, come to class with any questions you may have, or send me a message in classroom, a private message attached to the POW assignment, and I can try and answer your questions. But if you get stuck, I want you to try and work it out. I want you to think about it, okay?